Hello, my name is Mark. We're in Bali, and we're inviting you to join us for a little watercolor class today. My wife has a business called WS Art Studio. We do craft classes for the visiting public to Bali. And one of those classes is a traditional Balinese painting class. And this gentleman here is Pak Wayan. He's the guru. And he is going to show you how to paint a beautiful hibiscus flower. And we invite everyone to join us and have some fun. In Balinese traditional art, the paintings can be very complex, and the drawing might take up to 1 year for a large panoramic painting. We're not going to do that today. We're going to keep it simple. We're going to have fun. All you need today is a pencil, paper, canvas if you have it. We have acrylic watercolor paints with us, but you don't need them. You can use crayons, colored pencils, whatever you've got. And we're going to keep the design motif very simple. Balinese art is complex. It's got a lot of things happening at the same time, and we're not going to get into that today. That's for another day. But we're going to do a pretty hibiscus flower, and we hope you join. Pak Wayan is a professional painter. His father was a painter. His brother's a painter, so it's in the blood. I'm going to let Pak Wayan start the drawing for us. Just follow along. There's no rush. We're going to start with a very open and casual shape, just to get the flower started. So, Pak, can you start?
Yeah.
He's drawing a circle. All right. And in the middle of the circle, at the center, he's got the point. And now he's making a petal of the flower. And he'll repeat that just to get a general shape for the flower itself. No details yet, just a general shape.
Technique, step by step.
Yeah. Okay.
And then
he's going to
five, 3, 4, 5.
Okay. So we've got a general shape, circular. We've got petals identified. We've got the stamen and pistil, I think it's called, of the flower. And then we'll draw some circles.
Yeah.
To put
this from the pencil, and then later we just okay. 0. Yeah. Suka.
Okay.
And then the small suka.
Small circles.
And then stem from the suka.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Good.
And then now we do following this, and then make this.
Okay. Now we're going for more detail. Okay. So we put a nice frilly edge on one of the petals of the flower. Okay.
Okay, and then
repeat.
One, yeah.
You really can't do this wrong. Okay.
Okay, and let this stem.
Okay.
And then now with this.
Okay. Now we're going to go over our work to highlight it for you. So just give us a second. and this will give you a chance to catch up if you're
Okay.
Go ahead.
Already fixed line. Now with this.
Go ahead.
Okay.
This way everybody at home can get a better view of what Pak Wayan is doing.
Following the line before.
Yeah. Just following the original design. This is a hibiscus flower, and hibiscus grows all over Bali. There's apparently many varieties. We have a hibiscus, I think it's a tree, it's big enough to be a tree. And you see these beautiful red flowers on it. Okay. So we started with a circle and a point, and we've made the petals, and we've made the center part of the plant. Here's the stem.
Yeah.
Now, do we do leaves next, or what's the next step?
Yeah. And then mix leaf.
Okay. See how simple that is?
Yeah.
Just working to a point.
And then
Easy.
maybe making for the
Okay.
yeah.
Here's a hibiscus flower that has not opened yet.
Maybe one more for the light.
One more leaf. Okay.
It's for simple painting.
Yes. Good.
Simple painting. And then with this.
Okay. Pak Wayan's going to outline it so you can see it better. And you can tell he's doing this very quickly. So, you know, you don't have to get all bogged down in details. This is for fun, and it's kind of a free-flowing type of drawing. Good. All right. Now, what's the next step? Do we have to add these lines yet? Or
Yeah.
no?
Now shading with the black.
Shading. This is going to bring some texture to the flower petals and add a little bit of a depth dimension to it. Okay. And you really can't go wrong here. So adding the dark highlights is going to give us some depth now. And it kind of makes that first petal just jump out at you, which is how it's supposed to be.
It's not too dark.
Not too dark.
No, too dark. Because in the front, like
Good.
yeah, the simple finding.
Mm-hmm.
And then after this, to do color.
Okay. We're finished drawing already.
Mm.
Okay. Okay. We're ready to add color to our painting. Pak Wayan uses acrylic watercolor paints. You don't need them. You can use whatever you have. You can use crayons. You can use colored pencils. It's all fine. And the color choices are up to the artist. It's up to you. You don't have to follow our colors. Pak Wayan is mixing a red and a yellow to get a kind of orange color. And we'll use that for the flower petals. But as I said, the color choices are yours, and you don't have to have paints. You can use anything you've got at home. Okay? Okay, we're ready to start painting. Now, Pak Wayan is going to take an eraser and get rid of any lines that he doesn't need anymore. You remember we started with a big circle. Well, we don't need that circle shape anymore, so he's just going to take the eraser and eliminate that. That way we don't have a circle shape coming through the paints later. Okay? So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Okay, we're going to add some color. And we're going to start with the petals. We're mixing yellow and red. Oh, I'm sorry. No. You're starting with the center of the plant, and that's a pure yellow. For us, it can be any color you want. Okay. And he's using a nice deep color.
Or yellow in the top.
Okay.
And then now with the red.
Okay, mixing red and yellow. We're going to get an orange.
One by one.
So we're getting a nice soft orange color. Good. So we've done one petal completely. Okay.
And then now red.
And now,
Magenta.
okay, Pak Wayan is changing a little bit. He's taking just red and coming from the center, he's making a much deeper color. orange is, I think they call it an underpainting. And it actually kind of gives more depth. So now, using a clean brush with just some water, he's going to pull the red into the orange so that they mix.
Outside.
Now, along the edge, the frilly edge of the petal, he's using red again. And now he takes the paintbrush that doesn't have any color on it, it's just wet, and he's pulling that red in from the edge.
With the water.
There you go. And this is all very subjective. There's no single way to do this. This is up to the artist. So by using an orange underpainting and then red over top and blending the two, he's giving a lot of texture to these petals now.
And then this black.
Okay. So Pak Wayan is going to take some black. At the very center of the flower.
Only a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, good. I like that.
Okay.
Nice. While Pak Wayan is continuing to paint the rest of the petals, just follow his lead and have fun. What he's done so far gives you a flower with some depth, all right? Now, traditionally, in classical Balinese painting, this is kind of the funny part. Painting was used for decorative purposes in Bali. They would paint the bas-relief temple walls, and they would recreate on paintings puppets. Puppetry is very important in Indonesia and Bali, and it's how they tell their myth stories. So painting actually was sort of a support mechanism, and it was used mainly decoratively, and it finally made its way into an art form of its own when people literally had more time. It started with the Brahmin class, the highest class of Hindus, and people who were talented artists devoted themselves to creating a two-dimensional art that retained the motifs of Hinduism and puppetry. If you look at Balinese paintings, they often have humanoid figures, and sometimes they have myth figures and monsters and gods and goddesses, and they have all these different aspects going on at one time. But it all supports Hinduism. It supports the Hindu myth stories like the Mahabharata, and it all works hand in hand to create what somebody called a Baroque art, meaning there's all these elements happening at one time, and the viewer of the painting just can sit there and just enjoy all kinds of different ideas happening in each painting. And that's why these paintings are so complex. The drawing takes so long for these professional painters. And then they devote a lot of time to very precise painting work. But we're keeping it simple here today, all right? In Ubud, which is the cultural heart of Bali, about 100 years ago, Western artists arrived, and they had a strong influence on the local painting population. And the painters locally started experimenting with shadowing, which they hadn't used before. We're using it a little bit today. And it opened up new ideas for the local artists. And it gave them new freedom. A way to paint the traditional motifs in a new way. All right? So you used to have a canvas, and you would have usually puppet figures, reproductions of puppet figures, and they'd be in like 2 or 3 colors, a black, a red, a yellow. Anything you could make from roots or leaves. But after the influence of the Western artists, suddenly there was some element of shadowing, which gives you the beginning of a 3rd dimension, and more colors became available because the Indonesians could get their colors from the West. So you have a much more vibrant palette. Just like Western artists, they were able to expand on the original ideas. It was quite wonderful. They're very talented, and they take their traditional motifs, and now they're experimenting in whole new avenues. It's rather wonderful to watch. So I hope that wasn't too much. All right, everybody, we're going to continue finishing the colors.
We've got yellow and red. Yeah.
We've got our orange underpainting.
Orange, the first.
That's it.
Orange. And then magenta.
Magenta,
Yeah.
which is a red.
Yeah, red magenta. Magenta red. Good color.
You like that color?
Yeah.
Okay. Now this is a different red than what you used on that side, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. The nice thing about watercolors is you don't have to let the underpainting dry. You can go directly into a new color. And he's pulling the red through the orange just to emphasize the texture of the petal. That's it. Yeah. And it's nice. We've got this great big orange and red motif working for us right now.
Until 3 or 2 or 3 times color.
Okay.
Yeah, this first color.
Now you're using basically a pure yellow on the front petal. So I think that front petal will be the one receiving the most natural light. Okay. Are you going back to magenta?
Yeah.
Okay. So just a little bit of red just to give us a nice leaf texture, or a nice petal texture, I'm sorry. Pulling the red through the orange. He doesn't do every petal the same. Every petal is a little bit different from the other one, which is what you would see in nature. And now we're going with another red.
Yeah, the red.
Okay. Okay. Just a deeper red color at the very heart of the plant. That just makes the painting more vibrant, more alive. And now we're going to go along the frilly edge. And pull the red back from the edge of the petal. Okay.
Now here.
There we go. Okay. Make use of that red a final time on the last petal. Okay. Okay. Yeah. What color will we do? Oh, you got to do a little more red. Okay. Pak Wayan is going to start painting the leaves and the stem of the plant. he's got a light green, and he's going to add yellow. So he's going to make a very light green color.
From the top.
Yeah. And that's going to be what I keep calling the underpainting. That's the color that goes across the whole leaf. Okay. And repeat that process on the stem. And then the last leaf and the stem of the unopened flower too. This is a very thin wash.
Okay.
And the last,
Yeah.
yeah, since we've got the right color. Okay, good.
Okay.
Now, a darker green?
Yeah. Now it's dark green.
Dark green, okay. So he went to the center of the leaf, and he's pulling the dark green out. This will give some depth to the leaf color.
From the side, yeah.
Yeah. Both sides, yes. In order to be seen, we used a magic marker to do our drawing. If you're just using a pencil, you will probably see a lot of the lines disappear under the color, and that's fine, that's good. So he's building up the color, building up the green on the heaviest part of the leaf at the center.
Yeah.
And now this dark green is a type of shadowing. The shadow that would happen on a stem underneath the petals.
And then with the green, yellow.
Okay, so we're going to use yellow, just yellow by itself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just introduce a new tone.
Okay. And this
Okay.
yellow.
Yellow again for the unopened flower. Our yellow has some green in it, but that's not a
Yeah,
problem.
and then the
That's-
center green.
Okay, that's a bud. I get you.
The dark green.
So one last dark green.
With the black.
Green and black combined?
Yeah, with the black.
Okay, so it's going to be very dark.
Very dark.
Okay.
Close. Up from here.
Okay. Yeah, good. I like that. Again, shadowing, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I like it.
Okay.
I like it.
Yeah.
All right. Good. Everybody, thank you for joining us today with our little painting project. We hope you had fun, and we hope to do this again in the future. When you're in Bali, come visit us, come visit Pak Wayan, and come to the gallery. We've got plenty of activities for all ages on GetYourGuide. You can check us out there. Add us to your wish list. There are gift cards available also for everyone. And, we hope to see you in the future. All right? Thank you very much.